name's Dr. Rhian Morgan and I'm a subject coordinator with the JCU Pathways program, Diploma of Higher Education. I originally come from a background in anthropology, specifically digital anthropology and user experience research, working in user experience in online gaming. And I moved from there to the area of learning technologies about 5 years ago when I started working with the Pathways team, and I now teach the Introduction to Digital Literacies subject for all of our incoming students.
So my name's Lisa Moody. I was initially a high school English teacher, and now I work within the Pathways program at James Cook University. I coordinate the Developing Academic Skills subject and teach into that, as well as a couple of other subjects in our tertiary access course.
So the assessment case study that I did is orientated around the Learning in a Digital Environment subject. It's an introductory digital literacy subject designed to introduce students to the range of technologies that they're going to be using for university study. So it's designed for people that have everything from no background with working with any kinds of technologies to sometimes some quite sophisticated understandings of technology, but they haven't used computers in a university context before. So one of the things I think that makes me really passionate about teaching in this space is the diversity of students that we're exposed to. Students with all kinds of educational backgrounds, going into a range of different degrees. So I think that's one of the big challenges of the subjects as well, is to make it accessible for everybody and relevant to everybody, regardless of which discipline they're moving into, because it's a multidisciplinary subject. The case study that I did actually looked at the overall subject design and the subject design framework that's been used across a range of different assessment items. So everything from an initial research plan that they complete to work towards a video assignment that they produce, and an e-portfolio at the end of semester where they showcase all the work that they've done across the diploma. So one of the big challenges that I have within the digital literacy subject is getting people to focus actually on the technology, as opposed to things like, what's the assessment? How do I formulate my argument? How do I understand these academic readings and things? So partially what we did was, it sounds mean, but outsource some of that hard work to the Developing Academic Skills subject, where students could really focus on formulating their argument, understanding their sources, and unpacking all of that sort of like critical literacies type stuff, so that I could focus on what I perceive to be the fun side of things, which is making a cool video, finding pictures, mashing it all together, doing your recording, doing a little bit of editing, and presenting that information. Not that I make Lisa do all of the hard work, because before we get to that stage, we do some work around using databases, creating search strings and using the library resources so that they can actually find the articles in the first place.
Yeah, and the work that is done in that process then informs the first major assessment task that's done in the academic skills subject. So in some ways, it actually manages to have double benefit because the skills are transferable across more than one subject area.
I'd say the more that you can structure this kind of thing, the easier it actually turns out to be in the end. It's not wasted time putting your curriculum plan down on paper, finding a framework that works, mapping out your semester. It seems like, we're all really super busy, and it seems like, oh, what am I investing my time in doing this when I've got 100,000 other things that I need to be doing? But it actually saves you a lot of time and stress down the track.
And additionally, you can identify areas that you can actually free time up within your own subject by putting some heavy lifting on another subject. Even if you've previously thought it was an important part of your curriculum, you can outsource it to your companion subject, which allows you to focus on something that needs a bit more development in the students.
And work with student feedback. Yeah, whenever you get it, get informal feedback, get them to tell you what worked and what didn't. When they say that they're confused about something, ask them what it was that they found confusing so that you can eliminate that confusion in the 3,000 emails that result from it next time around.
And they can give you good ideas for what you can do in new assessment too. That's actually been one of the most powerful things, I think.
And give them flexibility in their assessment as much as you can within the content and the subject learning outcomes that you need to achieve. Give the students freedom to be creative because they come up with some really fun stuff, and if it's meaningful for them, then they're much more likely to put that effort in.
Absolutely. And if it's relevant to where they want to go, they're more prepared to invest the time.